Honors Algebra 2 Pre-Calculus. We're doing 10.3 in Pre-Calc, which is ellipses. So in example 2, we're given an equation in standard form, y squared over 25 plus x squared over 16 equals 1. We're asked to graph it and then give the coordinates for all of those major points, the center, the vertices, the non-vertices, which is totally a Hoganism, and the foci. So the first thing to notice here is that you were probably expecting a y minus k and an x minus h, and you don't have it. So this is the slightly simpler form of the equation that happens when our center is at the origin, right? The reason you don't see y minus a quantity squared is because the quantity is 0. So when you see this equation, right, when you see that there's not y minus a thing and x minus a thing, that's because your center is 0, 0. So hopefully we can spot that pretty quickly and be happy about that. So that's great. So that's the first thing I have. Now the second thing I have to notice, so I've already found the center. The second thing I have to notice is that the bigger number is the 25. So the major axis is vertical, right? A is gonna be 5 in the y direction, right? Meaning up and down. And B is gonna be 4, because the square root of 16 would be 4 in the x direction, right? So basically, from this information, I can go ahead and sketch a graph once I know that. And so I'm going to inch this over a little bit, and then we'll do some more work on the other side if we need to find C. So I'm going to go ahead and put my origin right there with the center, right? I know I'm going to have to go 5 units up and 4 units over, so I'm just going to be kind of lazy and count that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I only need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so my major axis from this center, 0, 0, I'm going to go up and down 5 units. So I'm going to go up to here, and that's going to be a vertex, right? And that vertex is going to be at 0, 5, because I went up 5 units from 0, 0. My other vertex is going to be at 0, negative 5, because I went down 5 units from 0, 0, right? My non-vertices, I'm going to start at the center and go 4 units left and right, because that would be the x direction, right? And I can tell that it's the x direction because the smaller number's under the x. So my non-vertex, right, which again, totally a Hoganism, is going to be 4, 0. My other non-vertex is going to be negative 4, 0, right? And then in order to graph this, I just connect those dots, right? And I do my best, and you'll notice this is not circular, but it's a lot closer to circular than all the other ones we've seen, right? Which makes sense because 4 and 5 are much closer together in number than, for instance, the last one we did was a 4 and a 2, and that was a bigger difference. So again, it's okay if your graph, like, I didn't mean to draw it kind of a straight line there. Please don't draw it as like a diamond. It shouldn't be straight lines. You should try to make it curvy, but nobody's actually testing your ability to draw. I want to see that you know where the points go, right? Okay, so that's my ellipse. Now the last thing I need is the foci, right? So remember to find the foci, right? I know that a squared minus b squared is c squared. My brain always says, hey, that's not the Pythagorean theorem. So 25 minus 16 should give me c squared. I get a 9 is c squared, and since c is a direction that's, or is a distance that's not going to have direction, it's going to just be a positive 3. So what that means is in the y direction, right? And the reason it's in the y direction is because it's always in the same direction as the major axis. It's always in the same direction as A. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 units up, and that's going to be focus number 1. It's going to be 0, 3. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 units down, and my other focus is going to be 0, negative 3. All right, so if you were asked to find all those coordinates, again, I kind of just listed them on here. I could have listed them separately, but that's my graph. So it is slightly taller in the vertical direction, but it's closer to a circle. And we're going to talk about what that means. There is actually a term for it being closer to a circle.